The ironic thing about home fries is that they usually aren't made at home. If you've ever had these delicious potatoes, it's probably been at a diner, likely at breakfast with some eggs. But here's the thing, home fries are super easy to make. They're also super cheap and super satisfying. By the end of this video, you'll know how to make home fries, well, at home. Hello and welcome to I Want to Cook. My name is Chef Matt and this channel is all about helping you be a better cook no matter your skill level. And today we are making one of my favorites, home fries. So what are home fries anyway? Well, they're really simple. They're just cut up potatoes that have been fried in a skillet or on a griddle until they are nice and brown on the outside but soft within. I like to bolster mine with some bell peppers and onions for extra punch. Now, the best types of potatoes to use for home fries are russet or Idaho potatoes. Those are known as starchy potatoes, and those are just the everyday potatoes that you see in the supermarket. And those are great because they're really cheap. I mean, you can buy a 5 or 10 pound bag for just a few dollars. With this recipe, you can feed an army for just a few pennies. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, home fries are usually associated with breakfast, but guess what? They are great for lunch or dinner as well. So in addition to serving them at breakfast with eggs, you can serve them at lunch or dinner with some steak or fish or whatever. They are a great side dish, or, well, if you're really hungry and make a big batch, they could be a main course. So let's make some home fries. For this, we're going to use 3 russet potatoes. These are on the small side, so if you have larger ones, just use 2. I'm going to use half an onion and also a red bell pepper. You could also use green or yellow or none at all. And finally, I've got some parsley here that we will put on at the end for some garnish. As for what to cook these in, I recommend a nice large skillet, 10 inches at least, and it should be a nice heavy bottom skillet. This is just a stainless steel skillet, but you could also use non-stick or cast iron if you have it. The first thing we'll do is peel and cut the potatoes. And actually, if you like the skins on your potatoes, you can leave them on. But in that case, just rinse them really well and scrub them. Now we'll cut up the potatoes, and there is no exact size that you need, but I would go on kind of the smaller end. The important thing is just to keep them all in uniform size. And here's a tip when working with potatoes. Before cooking, we're just going to put these in some water, and that's going to do a couple of things. That's going to help get rid of some of those starches, and it's also going to prevent them from oxidizing. That's what happens when they're left out in the air and they start to turn kind of that nasty color. Them being in water, that's going to prevent that. So we're just going to cut up these potatoes and put them in this water. Now we'll cut up half an onion and 1 whole bell pepper. These are optional but recommended. Now we're going to heat our skillet over medium heat for a couple of minutes. And while this is heating, we'll drain our potatoes. Heating the pan first will help prevent our potatoes from sticking. In fact, I made a whole episode on how to keep food from sticking to a pan, and I'll put a link to that in the description below. But our pan has been preheated. Now we are going to add some vegetable oil. We're going to use a pretty good amount here, about 4 tablespoons or enough to cover the bottom of the pan. We're just going to put this in the pan, and then we are going to let this heat for another minute or 2. Okay, our oil is hot, and now we are going to add the potatoes, and just stand back a little bit because there might be some splatter. The potatoes are in the skillet. We're going to put some seasoning salt on these and a little bit of fresh cracked pepper. And this is optional, but I like to add a nice pat of butter right to the skillet. That's going to further help these brown. Put all these potatoes in the skillet, give them a shake, let them get nice and coated, and now just let them cook for 5 minutes. That's going to let them start to brown. These potatoes have been cooking for about 5 minutes now. Now I want you to take your spatula and give them a good shake. And just kind of get underneath these and see they're already starting to brown. Now we're going to add our peppers and onions. We just wanted to give the potatoes a head start. So we'll dump all these in, and same thing. We are just going to toss these, make sure they're nice and coated in that oil. Now all you have to do is let these cook for another 20 to 25 minutes and let them get nice and browned. I want you to give these a toss every couple minutes or so with your spatula so that everything is nice and cooked. It's been about 15 minutes. I'll show you where we're at. These are looking really nice already. And when it gets toward the end of cooking, I want you to stir these more often. Make sure that nothing is sticking. We are in the final stretch. These are almost done and they smell and look fantastic. It's been 25 minutes and these things look great to me. Take a look at what we have here. These beautiful, hot, steamy, nicely browned home fries. Now let me show you how I like to serve this. Okay, I'm gonna scoop these into a nice big serving platter here, or you could just serve them straight out of the skillet, doesn't matter. And then I just like to finish them off with a bit of fresh parsley. We're just gonna sprinkle right over the top. And boom, you have got some amazing home fries at home. Let's see if they taste as good as they look. Yes, they do. So that is how to make a big skillet full of home fries at home. It really couldn't be easier. I hope you give this a try and let me know what you think. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Welcome to my kitchen. I am so glad that you are here. Until next time, I hope you want to cook.